This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Richard, I'm kind of surprised with speculation on Dowell Loggains' future here at Arkansas, potentially moving on to South Carolina. Emmett from Springdale is wondering why we haven't had a call that DJ Williams isn't going to be our next tight end coach.
Hey, you never know, but yeah, it does appear that way. After doing some checking last night, I kind of got some signals that it could be happening. I guess we'll find out.
Well, on that note, Richard, I was doing some research on where kind of Dowell ranks in recruiting rankings. He's top 25 in the country, top 15 in the SEC. If it is indeed the case and we get the announcement later today, how big of a loss is it for Arkansas recruiting?
It's big because, the three tight ends that he's got committed, all of them are four-star commits. And talking to Tom Lemming, who's been doing this since 1978, he's never seen 3-4-star kids at the tight end position committed to one school. Now, there might have been, like, say, two 4-stars and a kid that was kind of an athlete that could play tight end. There might have been something like that in the past, but not three exclusive tight ends that are 4-stars committed to one school. He's definitely someone that the kids trust, and he's developed relationships with. Obviously, that they know that the possibility of him leaving has always been there because of, his resume. So will it be a shock? Probably not. Will it be somewhat surprising? I think that could be the case. I think Lou Hogs, there's got to be some concern there because he was definitely one of the main reasons why he decided to be a Razorback. And then Jaden Ham, but I think Shamar Easter will be okay because he's an Arkansas kid. But at the same time, he's extremely close to Dowell too. So we'll find out if it becomes official and just see how it all pans out. But he's definitely one of the better recruiters, and not only just recruiters of tight ends. I mean, his territories where he recruits, he's gotten close with other position kids that play other positions that are considered in Arkansas. Parker Livingstone from Lucas, Texas, Lovejoy High School, very highly regarded receiver. Thinks the world of Dowell. So it'll be somewhat of a blow, but again, it's not. It won't be that shocking, I guess you'd say.
So we'll keep an eye on that as the next 24 or 36 hours unfold, see what happens. One thing we do know is that Barry Odom is leaving the staff at some point here to become the next head coach at Las Vegas out at UNLV. How does that affect recruiting, and what concerns might you have out of the commits with Barry Odom's pending departure?
Anytime you have any position coach or DC or OC, leave, that creates some kind of certainty. What kind, especially often, if you're not a coordinator, creates doubt of, the kids that committed on the defensive side, they committed to a defensive coordinator with a particular philosophy, and they did get to know Barry, and so I think that causes some uneasiness. Now, if Michael Shearer, the linebackers coach, decides to join his staff, that's something to be another thing to be somewhat concerned about, because he's an excellent recruiter too. The linebackers really have that have committed to him, and then some that are Arkansas's recruiting, the 24 class and 25 class have really gotten close to him, and I think that's an area to be concerned about. But anytime you get into December and January, sometimes it seems like everything's going to be just hunky dory and non-eventful. This is definitely one of those December's that looks like has the potential to be pretty eventful.
Yeah, it's Pepto-Bismol and Xanax season. We're anxious and got upset stomachs right now, worried about all this. But you said something there about Michael Scherer that got me to thinking. We touched on this or talked about it a little bit yesterday. It's one thing if Dowell Loggains goes to another SEC school and a player followed him there. To me, it's just a different equation of a player you believe fits an SEC roster and an SEC 2 deep goes to a Mountain West school. Should we have concern about some of these current commits that might have close relationships with, a Michael Scherer, that they would leave an SEC school for an opportunity on a Mountain West roster? Is that something we should even consider as something to be worried about?
I wouldn't be so concerned about that, but other schools will jump in and Power Fives will jump in and say, hey, your defense coordinator left, your position coach left. Hey, we want you.
Yeah.
So that's where you got to be concerned.
Gotcha. Talking with Richard Davenport this morning. Richard, we've asked you about Barry Odom. We've asked you about Dowell Loggains. What about new strength and conditioning coach? I think it's Ben Sowers. How does that affect the recruiting overall, if at all, with the new strength and conditioning coach?
I think a strength and conditioning coach, he makes his impact on unofficial and official visits when the kids and the parents get to meet him, his staff, and learn his philosophy. Kind of see his what he's done in the past with maybe some of the players that he's developed. And another area where I think he can impact also is say a father. There was a father that visited Arkansas when Bielema was here and was extremely impressed with Ben Herbert, who's obviously at Michigan now. And this dad played college football in the NFL, and he was just blown away by Ben. And he asked a lot of questions and got a lot the answers that he wanted, and that really helped his son make the decision to be a Razorback. So I think that's where you make the hay as a strength and conditioning coach, is on official visits or unofficial visits when kids and parents get to meet you and learn about your philosophy.
Richard, I think a difficult part that's kind of been added to the coaching mold is now you have to recruit players that are already on your campus that are playing for you to convince them that they need to continue to be Razorbacks. I do wonder, there's 13,000 players in college football right now. 1,000 of them entered the portal. How many of these guys are going to get left stranded there and not find themselves a home?
Yeah, I obviously don't know the exact number, but there'll be a good amount that. If they won't be able to find, say they leave a Power Five, a very good amount of them will probably have to go mid-major, maybe Division II, maybe even Division III. I don't know, but and then some will be left without any options, and it happens every year, and that's why you got to be extremely careful and really know your worth as a player. And it's hard for a 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old young man to really know their worth, because you have an inflated opinion of yourself. And then you throw in the crazy uncle who's been telling you the whole season that, oh my God, they're doing you wrong, nephew, or Ty, come on, man, you need to get out of there, or a crazy dad or a mom, I think you're getting more of that nowadays, just because people think that they know a little bit more than they actually know. And now, if it's somebody that maybe has played college football at a high level or something, and is really, honest with the kid that's thinking about transferring and is knowledgeable about that kid's worth. At least you get somebody that you feel like has some pretty good knowledge. But it is a tricky situation, and it really hurts to see some of these kids make some of these decisions, because they have an opportunity to maybe develop, but they're looking for that instant chance to play. And let's face it, at the same time, there's some that are kind of pushed out. There's no doubt about that. Quite a few are kind of pushed out and encouraged to leave. So those guys really don't have an option to stay at that particular school.
How much more are we going to see, 3 stars and maybe low 4 stars go the mid-major route and then come up through the portal rather than sign direct anymore? It seems like the portal's pushing out some of the high school kids that don't quite get there. Maybe not the 4s, but certainly the 3 stars may have to look at different routes just based on numbers and the way the portal's affecting opportunities for high school kids.
Oh, there's absolutely no doubt about that. Obviously, I wrote about that on Sunday and talked to several. We've talked about this so many times, but in talking to high school coaches since the portal started, I mean, the mid-level guys that not the highly recruited types, but the mid-level guys that maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago, schools would try to bring in and try to develop. And maybe year 3, get on the field. Those days are almost over because the coaches now, I mean, we've talked about this too, the 4 or 5 years that you normally had to turn around a program, it's 2 or 3 now. So you can't blame the college coaches. They got to they have to upgrade their rosters each and every year, and if they don't, they'll be fired.
Yeah.
So the mid-level guy is definitely being hurt. It hurts to see it. I don't know if there's going to be a solution to it. We've talked about this too. The solution, in my opinion, is the 1-year exemption where you can automatically transfer and have immediate eligibility. If they took that away, I think that would slow down everything a little bit and maybe create a little bit more opportunity for the mid-level guy. But with the portal, I think the days of the developing guys is there's still going to be some guys that schools take a chance on and try to develop, but not at the numbers that they used to be.
Is this a bigger issue in football or basketball, in your opinion?
I think it's in football. It is no doubt has impacted basketball too. There's no doubt about that. But at least in football, it is even for high profile kids. I mean, if you're an offensive or defensive lineman, a lot of times you're redshirted. I mean, or you don't play that much just because of the physicality. You have to be in the weight room, a year or two and really physically develop, unless you're just a freak and you're already at that level coming out of high school. But I think it is in football, and I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times I get, talk to parents and talk to kids and talk to high school coaches on a weekly basis that are just so frustrated with the system right now, as far as the portal and how it's impacting all of them. It's frustrating.
Careful what you wish for.
Richard, we got a question from Tucker in Sherwood. I know there's almost too many to count, but who are some current transfer portal offers that Arkansas fans should be monitoring their decision?
Gavin Holmes, the Wake Forest cornerback who really kind of blew up when he got into the portal on Monday. Now, he told me yesterday he was going to be making an official visit to Arkansas this weekend. I think there's a chance that he may come next weekend, but technically I got him down for this weekend. Andrew Armstrong, a 6'5", 6'6", about 200-pound receiver from Texas A&M Commerce, FCS kid who, when he entered the portal, got 17 offers. He's the one to keep an eye on. He's coming in this weekend for an official visit. He's supposed to visit Missouri next weekend, but I guarantee you Arkansas will try to say, hey, buddy, we want you. We'll jump on board. And there's some others that will probably be coming in this weekend. There's definitely some coming in next weekend. So, and then obviously Jacoby Criswell. Looks like Wisconsin's making a move for him. His OC is now at Wisconsin. I think that if he has a the visit that he thinks he'll have at Arkansas. I don't think he'll visit Wisconsin next weekend. That he's technically supposed to visit Wisconsin next weekend, but if I think Arkansas kind of hits a home run with him with this visit this weekend, I think he'll go ahead and jump on board, but we'll see.
All right, Richard, last thing for me. Trevin Brazil, unfortunately, tears his ACL out for the season. When does that re-recruiting process begin to try and get him to come back next year? How long is that?
You just put – I think with Coach Muss and his staff's experience in the NBA and their connections with the NBA, I mean, Coach Muss, this is probably not the first time he's had this to deal with this, and I'm sure as an NBA coach, he saw some guys have some injuries, maybe a same type of injury, and kind of knows the time frame for a return to normalcy as far as their physical capabilities. I think Coach Muss, and he'll be able to put out a good timeline when everything will get back to normal, and what NBA teams are going to have concerns about. And I'll be honest with you, I tend to think that this probably makes him come back next year. I could be totally wrong. Maybe some NBA teams, just because of the advances in the medical field about that particular injury, it's not as concerning. But I still think that it will kind of make some teams be a little concerned about his future, and want to probably see him play another year. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Richard, we'll leave it there. Appreciate it, man. We'll do it next week.
Football is back, and BetOnline remains your number one source for all your football betting needs this season. You'll find the latest odds, matchup info, player news, and game trends. And as your continued source for all sports wagering info, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, live scores, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports and events like MLB, MMA, tennis, boxing, and even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 100% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.